G7 leaders will meet virtually today to discuss the alarming humanitarian crisis in Afghanistan and the looming deadline to evacuate vulnerable Afghans. Prime Minister Boris Johnson, French President Emmanuel Macron and German Chancellor Angela Merkel are expected to exert pressure on U.S. President Joe Biden to extend the August 31 deadline to withdraw troops from Afghanistan. Countries that have evacuated some 58,700 people over the past 10 days were trying to meet the deadline agreed earlier with the Taliban for the withdrawal of foreign forces, according to a NATO diplomat who declined to be identified. Every foreign force member is working at a war-footing pace to meet the deadline, said the official. President Biden is expected to decide whether to extend the deadline within 24 hours, with some of his advisers arguing against a delay for security reasons. Ahead of the meeting, Prime Minister Boris Johnson said, "Our first priority is to complete the evacuation of our citizens and those Afghans who have assisted our efforts over the last 20 years. But as we look ahead to the next phase, it's vital we come together as an international community and agree a joint approach for the longer term. That's why I've called an emergency meeting of the G7 to coordinate our response to the immediate crisis, to reaffirm our commitment to the Afghan people, and to ask our international partners to match the UK's commitments to support those in need. Together with our partners and allies, we will continue to use every humanitarian and diplomatic lever to safeguard human rights and protect the gains made over the last 2 decades. The Taliban will be judged by their deeds and not their words." EU leaders are particularly concerned about a major migration wave from Afghanistan as people desperately flee the much-feared Taliban rule. Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis yesterday joined other EU leaders in their call to avert new migration flows from Afghanistan to Europe. He said, "It is important for the European Union to support the countries close to Afghanistan, in order to make sure that we won't have additional flows in Europe." He added, "We managed to avert it and we will continue with the same policy in the future." At the G7 virtual summit, the EU is expected to announce a quadrupling of aid to Afghanistan, jumping from €50 million to €200 million. This comes after the doubling of UK humanitarian aid spending and the announcement of one of the most generous resettlement schemes in British history. This programme will be one of the most generous in British history and is set to relocate up to 20,000 vulnerable Afghans.